hello and welcome to a very special video today. It's not, special in a good sense. It's special in the sense of this is extremely important things to brought out. It's about a certain member of currently the Gambino military organization that needs to be brought out as multiple people have came to us and we decided to interview a couple of them. A couple of them are currently on Amari, but we have currently a couple people that aren't even affiliated with the Amari Famiglia currently that are part of this interview. You can believe this is biased, you can believe whatever this is, but these are all true stories. Anyways, on with our first interview on this story, into the mind of Mason Gambino, aka Don Luca Gurino. Alright. So, I'm sitting here with Louis M. Gurino. Am I correct on the name?
Sir.
Alright, so Louis, you have quite a troubling story to attend that you want me to cover personally, because I personally know the person that you are going to be bringing up and a lot of the accusations you are making today. So, just before we get into it, is there any reason why you want to talk to Amari before anyone else?
Well, it seems like Amari has a better, more close perspective on who Luca was as a person and still is to this day.
Okay, and just to make things clear, Louis, you are a person of color of the, you're black, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so as a black person, I mean, you might as well just straight up and go ahead and, just tell us exactly what you want to, talk about.
Well, to begin, my first few weeks in Gurino were kind of easy until I ended up going inactive for a while because of hospitalization reasons, and Luca didn't really believe that I had to go away for a while because of that reason, because most people in Gurino would always lie just to, get away.
Mhm.
And he asked me to send him a picture of the cast I had on my arm when I got cut and I broke that arm. And
Mhm.
the minute he realized that I was, black colored, he started to treat me differently after that day when I sent him the photo of what happened to my arm.
So,
And
no,
yeah,
don't mean to cut
go
you
ahead.
off, but would you say he treated you fairly well when he thought you were white?
He treated me, at first he treated me as if I was just another person, of society until up that day.
Okay, go on.
Um, the first few days afterwards, he's been really shutting me out. Like when I would ask for help or advice on some things, he would just instantly, cut me off on my sentences and tell me to go to someone else. And then heading towards like a week after, what he would have, well, what he did was he snapped on me when I was talking about something,
Mhm.
and I was really confused because what I was talking about wasn't, anything negative. It was just me having a conversation with someone who I thought was my friend, Massimo. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's when parties were separated. There were like different chats and a whole bunch of other things.
So wait, parties were separate. So was it by like time zone or what was it?
Um, I can more so say they were segregated parties.
Well,
Um,
that's a pretty strong word, but like, how would you describe it? Was it like European people in one party and like it's like different time zones is what I'm assuming you're hinting at,
um,
right?
no, not really, because even though they were in different time zones, it was based off of your race, really. There were
Oh,
people
so
like
like
there were
like
people like a few friends like She Vouch and a few other friends of mine who's been put in these parties, and they were just separated because of what their race was.
so so he would segregate people by parties because of their race, but like, what would he call these parties?
Well, for the blacks, he would put colored parties, and yeah.
Huh. So he called the black he he would put black people in separate. Were Hispanics included in these parties? Because they were called colored parties, or was it just black people?
It was blacks and Hispanics.
Was there any, like, what about I mean, not to go too much into this, but like, what did he constitute as like being colored? Like, were Arab people put in this group too, like Muslims?
Um, yeah, they were too.
So he used to segregate. Okay, so I'm assuming the other party was like called like the white party, the normal party. What was it called? Like,
I've never seen the normal party, but from what I've heard from a friend of mine before we split, they were called the higher society.
so oh, so he would see white people as like he would just straight up say, well, when you first got segregated and he started these colored parties, he would basically like, no offense, but like, why would you remain in Gurino? Was it because you had friends at the time, or like what was going on?
I mean, I didn't really take it as serious because he wasn't really saying anything towards me. I stayed in Gurino not just because of the fact that my friends were there, but he didn't really make any comments or, hateful words towards me. So I just kind of, ignored it at first because it's just a video game overall until, things escalated.
Hmm, that's that's interesting. So at first, Luca was nice to you. You were treated normally. He found out through by accident that you're a person of color. You're black, and he put you in this party with a bunch of other black people, right? And whenever he did find out that you were black, he put you in these segregated parties called the color parties, and you were removed from the main parties, or were like the parties like, was there a main party for meetings? I'm assuming there was, since that makes wouldn't really make sense to have two different parties for meetings, right?
Yeah, basically.
So you were allowed in the main party whenever there's a meeting, and like apparently whenever there's no meeting, there's colored parties and this higher people, which were, what is it, just white people, like any type of white person, like European, all that, or
I've heard rumors of for like a while there were also British and Germans in the higher society party.
okay. Did they wait for a while? Well, like did anything ever happen to like them? Like he had German people in this. I mean, we already know, like not to spoil anything, but we have a next German member coming in later in the interview. But like, did they like what was going on with like the British and Germans and Europeans? What was going on with them?
Well, for the Europeans, I can really say that um them and the British were moved to the colored parties after a while after I guess Luca got tired of having them around, I'm assuming.
Wait, so he would send British people into the colored parties as a punishment?
Yeah.
So okay, we obviously have a you've seen him. We have a ex-Jewish Gurino member coming on like later in the interview as well. Can you say anything about like were the Jewish members allowed in the white parties or were they like completely in like the colored part? Like where did the Jewish people stand in all this equation?
Well, in all of this, the Jewish people, they were separated from the colored too, but there wasn't really a party for them. They would speak in chat.
So they weren't even allowed to like speak or like anything. They had to like type.
Yes.
So like we all have seen the picture of Luca in the Nazi hat. Obviously, would you say Luca had some Nazi ideas, or was he himself perhaps a Nazi? Like, what would you say on that?
I mean, there were certain activities that he has done that were kind of on and off, like giving me that feeling that he was a Nazi himself.
So, I mean, did you ever experience anything directly that would indicate this?
Um, I can say while running the map or the gauntlet, whatever it's called now, he wore this, German uniform, and he was, watching over us with three or four other people dressed as Germans, and he would yell at us every time we would slow down or something.
Huh, that's very odd. Like, so so would he like ever do anything to you? Like, so he just separate the parties because you're black and that's it. And like sometimes they do some weird German shit, like a fanfic. Like what like
Yeah.
did he go any farther than that ever?
I mean, there were these times
Excuse me.
also splitting between GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption, where he would tie up black people and have us sitting there before leaving us to do some other activities. And I guess when he came back, he just shot us dead. And in
So
GTA, he would have us all pile up in LSIA and well shoot us gun us down.
he would lynch you, is what you're saying pretty much? Do you ever used to
Yes,
make
sir.
jokes about it?
Um, there was this time he made a racist joke about how Germans rule everything.
They ruled everything or ruined everything? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Ruled.
Okay, well, so he used to just straight up like on Red Dead lynch you guys. Was it as a joke or was he like is it like some kind of punishment?
Um, he would just do it often. As punishments, he would do things like have the Jews, the colored people, and the British people come into one part of the game and get gunned down against the wall.
Huh. So I mean, there's one story that in specific you want to bring up to us that Mason did to you, and I know right now we're talking about like early on the line, but like the more you moved on, like you told me like privately that like the more and more racist he got. Can you like share so like can we go farther into this like if you feel comfortable?
Well, there was a point in time where he had me change my username to Monkey Man Gurino, and he had me dressed in a ape suit alongside other colored people in the crew at the time.
He, wow, that I I didn't expect that. I'm sorry. What that must have been awful. Like, why would he do this?
In all honest truth, I really just came back to GTA around that time period because I've been going through, racial profiling, people just being racist overall in my town and area. So I came back onto you know, PS4 just to, fuck around, play games with my friends. I really didn't expect all that shit to come back and happen to me in real life and in GTA 2.
And that shouldn't have happened. I'm terribly sorry that that did happen to you. That is so. He forced you and all your friends to like change like racist names. Like he made you call yourself Monkey Man. So wait, don't mind if I'm asking. What does the M stand in Lewis?
Um, Lewis stand Lewis stood for monkey.
Like Lewis Monkey Green. Did you want M in your name, or did Luca
No,
force you?
not at all.
Wow.
Luca, Massimo, and another man that goes by Buick. All three of them forced me to do it, or I was supposedly not never gonna get made, which was doubtful from the start.
You were forced to call yourself Monkey in a crew, like a GTA crew.
Yes,
That
and the
man,
tags we had was I think it was JCRO, which stood for Jim Crow.
Wow, that's so he would put black people in this crew called Jim Crow. That's awful. Like I know like Amari gets accused of a lot of things, but man, that is taking it one step. Like that's taking it quite a few steps. Jesus, like man, I mean like wow, that is stunning. So Luca, I mean, would you think that he is still doing this type of stuff inside of Gambino currently?
I wouldn't doubt it because there's only two or three black people that I know that's in Gambino right now that have a higher tolerance than me, but I know they're still struggling worse than I did.
Hmm. As much as like, we've been beefing Gambino, to the colored members in Gambino that have to probably put up with Mason, I feel bad for them and you sharing your story, could hopefully inspire more people to like, call him out cuz this is like let me make this clear. This is like not okay. Like stuff like this shouldn't happen in the community. Like I don't know. I mean that's so weird to me how like he would do all this weird shit. So like he used to make you dress like put like a monkey mask on you and like so like I know this might sound disrespectful, but like why did you even stay? Was it just because you had friends in there too that didn't want to leave either, or what was it?
Well, overall, overall, it's just the decision of me, wanting to escape reality because that's my main point of coming back to GTA in the first place. I left a few months before because, I just got tired of the racism from the military community, and so I just said, fuck it, and I want to try something new. And when I came into the Mafia community, I got hit with a rude awakening, a rude welcome.
Well, let me just make this clear. Mason does not represent this community, and neither does Gambino, quite honestly. Their racism is pretty disturbing, and this whole story. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna, you know, call this out and say, it's not true and all, but we have multiple people coming out, multiple ex-Gurino members, and if this wasn't true, then, you know, man, we have people like talent like in this interview, I can guarantee you there's gonna be like quite a few people coming here, and let me just tell you right now, this I know for a fact. I personally know Mason in real life, and I can personally tell you, I believe every word that Lewis said right here. Um, there's honestly like it's believable. Like I know what he did, cause I'm gonna be honest. What he used to do in the olden days, like in Fratiano, like last year, he used to, I mean, we've all seen that picture of him in like the Nazi hat, but he used to take it like he used to like talk to me about like the Jews and how like the Jews were evil, and I always didn't really take him that serious, and I realize now I should have stopped him, and quite honestly, I am complacent in Mason's like a behavior, and a large part of that is the reason why Fratiano name changed to Omari is because we didn't really want to be associated with the things that Mason did to our crew, and a lot of it was pretty bad. And honestly, hearing what he did whenever because whenever we were in Fratiano, I would always control him because he used to target our black members, and we actually have a former black member another interview lined up, which is going to be coming out in a couple weeks. He's just getting his PS4 and everything. He's going to talk about his story within Fratiano, which is a completely different thing. So we have this is just part one, by the way, guys. So it's the second video is going to be a short. It's just this one guy. He just doesn't have his PS4 right now. Basically, he would he would do this to all the black men. He would call them the N word. He would beat the shit out of them because they're black. If they fucked up, he would punish them 10 times more. Would you say he did the same thing? I mean, from the things I've heard, I mean, I probably already know the answer. Do you think that were any other groups other than just people of color targeted?
It's really just people of color and Muslims, really.
All
They
right.
were looked at as terrorists to him.
And we have a British person. You said that British people were also put in parties as punishment. Was it only British people, or was there other groups of people that were punished like this?
Just really the British, the Jewish, and colored people. Spanish
That's
people would fall into the category of color too.
oh yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate. So I mean, do you mind going into? I mean, do you know much happened with the British people? Because you said they had their own parties too, right?
Yeah, the British people, they had their own parties and they were still supervised by a capo. I don't remember his name, but I do remember that one of them, hit me up before on Instagram and we ended up talking about something. He didn't want me to go over it with anyone else, but I will say in short that and for you know for punishment for being or doing whatever the hell they did or what Luca decided they did, they were moved from the British parties to the colored parties, and there was this chain of events that would happen every time he would enter the party, or not him, but someone else of hierarchy that would enter the party with the colored people. And we would have normal conversations because in real life we're people, we're not slaves, we're not anything. He would
Mhm.
have someone come into the party and threaten us if we say one more word, this, that, and a third, we'll get whacked out or just booted offline or doxxed.
All right. Well, Lewis, I think it's time we bring up the thing you want to talk to me about. Um, is it you personally texted me and showed a couple pieces of evidence that Luca threatened to dox you if you came out with this story? Uh, just tell us more about that, please.
Um, Luca has been really targeting me, and it's just been heavy on me because I'm I'm really not comfortable with someone having my address, my full name, and everything else, you know,
Wait,
having that information online.
I don't mean to cut you off, but did he force all black members to give their info to stay in the family?
He forced us to, send colors of our skin.
That's
Like
that's
a
very
picture of
strange.
our arm, a picture of, something that showed a little bit of skin to show that we were black, white, or whatever.
Wow. Now that's truly strange. I mean, I feel disgusted right now, I knew this guy was in Fratiano, and I have to apologize to everyone who was in Fratiano that experienced, what Luca did to them or Mason Gambino, and I'm just gonna straight up apologize to like the people within Gambino that have to experience, every day what I should have quite frankly stopped. Sometimes I blame myself for this because I know he's done like horrible, horrible things like that. That is truly that is not okay. Quite honestly, what he does to people that just don't look like him. Because let me go more in detail. Lucas sees himself as some kind of like Nazi, right? He believes that like the German people are superior, and that's just very strange to me. I always thought it was. I mean, hopefully one day, he realizes his errors, and the only thing I can suggest to him is just seek some sort of therapy. If you get help, like this is not okay. As we can see, Boss Jack Amari, also formerly known as Jack Gurino. Jack, may you please tell us what your rank in Gurino was?
I was the street boss
hmm
for quite a while, for a few months.
Now, Jack, as a higher up in the Gurino crime famiglia, can you confirm the accusations done by Louis Gurino
Yeah, I
about
could confirm they were true. That they definitely happened.
the
Like that
intense?
that shit went on.
Would you say Gurino had a hostile environment towards people of color?
Definitely, Luca was like a an extremist.
Hmm. That, well, would you say that other groups of people felt segregated within Gurino?
Yeah, he used to do the like dividing party thing, and like he had like a coloured party, and like they
hmm
used to put like British people in there as like punishment, which was kind of weird.
So he used to put British people in the colored parties as punishment. So was he trying to imply that black people or colored people are somehow inferior?
Yeah, and like
So,
we didn't want to be with them. It was just like whatever. Like he would put them in as like he would put like me and Polo in there a lot.
huh. So was let me get this straight. Was Luca the only person in Gurino with this what would you describe a Nazi ideology?
I mean, there was a few of like higher ups and stuff, but like he was the main one. He like kind of forced all the members,
Did he
like
no, my apologies, my apologies. Go on.
uh he would like force on like the younger members, like he would like indoctrinate them.
Oh, yeah, I was about to ask if he did he ever try converting you?
Yeah, I mean most like I tried to like defect from it, like me and Lennon did, and that's why like ended up with like him trying to like whack out Lennon, and like I tried to like defend him, but like it went sideways, and we ended up leaving and deciding that was like the best for us, and we ended up back in like we ended up joining Abari, which was good.
Yes. So let me get all the rumors straight and everything. The reason you and Paulo left Gurino was due to the intense racism you've seen, and as a British person, I assume you experienced xenophobia, correct?
Yeah, Luca liked to blame like British people for like Germany losing like World War Two. He used to get like
Really?
pretty salty about it. Yeah,
So
he's
we
like a
well
yeah.
we've already established that Luca is a Nazi, but did he really blame the British people, or did he blame the guy? Like, there's a difference, right? Who did he blame?
He blamed like the British people, like especially like me, Paulo, and Danny Boy. He didn't like us a lot for that. And, like that's why at the start he had like he kicked out a lot of British people.
Huh. So, did you ever feel that just because you were born a certain type, that there's nothing you could do from Luca not liking you as a person?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really much I could do. He just kept going on, you know. It
Did
was just like the same thing, like for months, and that's why we got fed up with it.
Have you ever tried to appeal? Like, I understand that, like, in certain contexts, is like, you have to appeal to certain types of people to like keep your position of power. Did you ever appeal to his racism? Did you ever say things that you thought were not appropriate, and just in case, so Luca could think were also some kind of Nazi or some kind of racist, so you wouldn't be kicked out of Gurino, or to keep your position in Gurino?
I mean, you know, I didn't really say anything that bad. I'll just have to go along with it. I'll just have to do what he said, and you know, usually he wouldn't make anyone do anything too bad, but like a lot, like especially like the British people, because we wouldn't be in like the main hierarchy chats, because like he had different parties for like each country. So there was like a coloured party, which was like anyone who wasn't like white. Then there was like the white party, which is like Lucas party chat. There was like the
hmm
British party for like British and European people.
So, was there a certain group of Europeans that were put above the others?
Yeah, definitely like the German people. They were allowed to go in the like American parties.
That uh, that is truly disturbing, in my opinion. So as we saw from Louis' interview, he said Luca had this sort of obsession with the German people, but yet, uh, like, did Luca speak German ever in parties, or like go like Louis said he went on German rants and said bring back the Reichstag and bring back, like, like he kept going on these fanatics about how like the Aryans were gonna rise again. Did you ever experience that yourself too?
Yeah, he called a 15 people meeting once, which was quite a lot for the crew since it was pretty inactive. But
hmm
you know, we had 15 people there, and he like went on like a rant, and he made everyone do like a Hitler salute with like their GTA character, and he ranted like half the rant was in like German, so we didn't really understand what he was saying, and we had to have like someone to like translate.
All right. Well, that so would you say now I understand Luca might have some problem. Like Luca, we can it's pretty uh fair to assume that Mason, aka Luca, has some issues. Would you not say but do you feel empathy for him?
Not at all. I mean, he needs some help clearly, but you know, there's not much we can do about it. Like,
Mhm.
uh, like he's just like brainwashed. I heard
Uh,
like that happened at his like school and stuff. Like he got like brainwashed, but I mean, I don't know.
I know I'm not, as an interviewer, not supposed to get personal with these type of things. I know Luca in real life, and I seen some of the things he said, but I never knew he took it so far upon like groups of people. Like, can you give some examples what he did to the British people that you felt was like xenophobic, or even to a point like completely discriminatory and prejudice?
Yeah, he would have like a hierarchy chart, and like there would be like a chart in like the Discord server, and he
Mhm.
would have a little chart of like what race were like superior to the other. So it was like the Germanics, and then there was like the American people, and then there was like the Italians and stuff, and then there was like the British people below that. Then there was like the Chinese and stuff, and then there'll be like the black people, and that's how he put them on like a
So
scale.
you, we've seen like we have another my apologies, we have another interview in a couple minutes from a known Jewish member in Gurino. He experienced a lot of anti-Semitism. Did you witness any anti-Semitism? We already know Luca has a strong hatred for the Jewish people, but have you seen it yourself?
Yeah, he sent him to our parties as like a punishment. Like he used to be in the American parties because he's like American, right? But
hmm
he got sent to our parties, and we like took care of him, and like we made sure he was alright. And you know, we basically hung out with him, and we like showed him how to shoot, stuff like that. But, like yeah, he like whenever Luke would come in the party, he would like yell at him for like no reason, just for being in the party.